Y'all have a really cute hack using these drawers from the Dollar Tree. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. Today, I am going to take these drawers that I found at the Dollar Tree. I have an idea in the old brain. I only bought 4 of these, so it's going to take all 4. Therefore, I have not done a prototype, but we're going to go ahead and flip to the overhead camera so that we can get started on this. And hopefully what I have in mind up here will work. All right, so I have 4 of these Dollar Tree drawers, and each one measures 3.5 by 5. They're really pretty neat. I've already opened a couple, and they open like this, very easy. They remind me of those larger ones, but these are smaller. You get 2 in a pack. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove the plastic from the last 2. And like I said, I haven't done a prototype because I only picked up 4 of these, and at the time that I got them, I really didn't know what I was going to do with them. But after looking at them for a moment, I thought, let's give this a try. So what I'll be using today is a total of 4 of these. Now, as you can see, they look pretty good stacked together side by side like this, but this is not how we're going to use these. Now, you can, but this isn't what we're planning on doing with them. I'm not going to have them side by side. I'm actually going to take them and stack them this way in the hopes that we can turn it into something absolutely awesome. So I'm waiting on my hot glue gun to heat up. But in the meantime, I have some black and white paper. I have some bees, and then I have those black and white buffalo plaid. You guys have seen me using these since I've been on YouTube. I get these from Hobby Lobby. This was actually bought from Joann, but it's American Crafts. It's probably still out there. And then I have some scrap chipboard along with some 12 by 12 chipboard. Now, if you don't have chipboard, you can always try doubling up on your cereal boxes, your shoe boxes. You can even try doubling up on cardboard. Just make sure that it's a very firm cardboard. So I'm going to take these, and we're going to put these together by, I'm going to add some hot glue here and some hot glue here, and then I'm going to join these 2 together. All right, so let's take some hot glue, and I'm going to put some right there, right here, and right here. Then I'm just going to take these 2, bring them side by side, and try to get them nice and even. Then I'm going to take these 2 and do the same thing. So let's stand this up, bring this over, see if we can join the 2 like this. And now we have these 2 joined. I am going to take my hot glue, add some hot glue here, some hot glue there, some hot glue there, and some hot glue there. And we're going to take these 2 and stack them like this. And let's press down to try to make sure we have this nice and stuck. And so now you can see we have all of these together like this. Y'all, this is fine. And I'm just pressing it together. And I think that looks okay like that. But y'all know me, I like to do a little bit extra to the plane. So we're going to take this and we're going to dress it up. And we're going to dress it up by adding a chipboard top as well as a base. And then I will consider covering the sides. So what I need to do is figure out my measurements. So this is 7, and this should be 5. and it is. So I think I'm going to go with pieces that are 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to bring in my chipboard. Let's bring in our trimmer, and I'm going to go ahead and trim one piece of chipboard at 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then I will trim my second piece using the same measurement. So 7 3/4 by 5 3/4. I'm taking 2 pieces of chipboard to actually do this. So 7 3/4 is the first cut that I'll make, and then I'll cut 5 3/4. And as you can see, I'm basically not cutting all the way through my chipboard because I'm doing this on my little trimmer here. But I am going to go ahead and remove this piece and remove this piece. Now I'm going to leave these 2 pieces together, and I'm going to do it on that second one as well. So I'm just going to trim away and trim away. And now we'll leave these 2 pieces together because we'll be able to fold them over, because I want to double the strength of the top as well as the base. So I'm now going to take some tape, and we are going to add tape to the inside of our chipboard. All right, so let's peel away our tape backer, and we'll fold this over like a book. That gives us double thickness, and we'll do the same thing with this one. Peel away that tape backer. And so now we have our 2 pieces. I am going to go ahead and add tape to these 2 pieces. So let's just add some tape on our platform. All right, so let's peel away our tape backers, and I'm going to bring in my black and white paper because I want to use the black and white paper as my base, or my cover. So I am just going to trim away right here and trim away here. Now let's do this one. So you will need a top and you will need a bottom. So I am using 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper for this project. For this part of the project, I should say. So I am just going to get that nice and stuck, stand it up, because this really is very thin paper, and just work my fold over. So now I'm going to take my finger blade, y'all, and we're going to do a miter all the way around on all 4 edges on both pieces. So now I'm going to take some tape, and I am just going to add tape to the paper this time. I could actually glue this down. I didn't even think about it, but I'll just go ahead with my tape, and we'll put some tape on this, but you can use your glue if you want, especially since you doubled that chipboard. It really won't cause any warping because it's a thicker chipboard that we're now working with. So let's go ahead and place our tape. All right, so now that we have our tape down, let's go ahead and remove the tape backers, and we'll fold over our paper. So let's stand this up, fold over, fold over, fold over, and fold over. Now I can take this and just tap it into my desk to get rid of any pointy ends. And y'all, I like how that looks. You know I like my black and white buffalo plaid. I like my black and white and red at Christmas time. Blue is my favorite color, but you cannot beat the classy look of black and white. Now let's do this one. Let's fold over, fold over, fold over, and fold over, tap, 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 tap. And now I'm just going to take my big old spatula to go around the edges to sort of square everything. Let's go around this edge and here. Oh. All right, so let's bring this back in. And here's what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to lay this on its side so you can get an idea of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I'm going to take this, put it on the top, and we're going to take this and put it on the bottom, and we're going to create this beautiful little chest of storage drawers, and I hope that you can definitely get a good picture of that in my picture-in-picture. So I'm thinking that this is actually going to work out well. So what I'm going to do, because this part here on the top is raised, I am simply going to place tape because, and I'll place some glue in the middle to hold it, but I am placing tape like this. I'll place a piece here in the middle, and then I'm going to grab some glue and just put some glue right there in the middle, because eventually my glue will stick to the plastic as well as my paper, but I am going to go ahead and just lift up my tape and I'm also going to add just a little bit of glue on the tape so that I can have some wiggle room when I place this piece on top. So I'm going to take this piece and I need to look at it, so I am just going to put it on and move it around, look at it from the side and adjust it where I need to. Let's look at it from this side as well as this side, and then I'll look at it like this. So all I'm doing, y'all, is I'm really just judging how that looks, and then I'm going to press down. And then I'm going to flip over and press down so you can sort of see how that looks. Then I'll be doing the same thing here on the bottom, but I do need to cover that. Let's see if my scrap will fit, and it will. So I am just going to cut a piece of this scrap, and we're going to put this down with some glue. Yep, that's going to be nice. So let's just add some glue. We'll take this piece and we'll put it on the bottom right there, because we don't want to have that raw edge showing on the bottom with the chipboard. So here on the bottom is different from the top. This part is recessed, whereas on the top it was raised. So I am just going to take my glue and go around the edges and just place some glue. I don't think I'm getting all of the edges, but that's okay. We just want to make sure that we have enough on here so that when it dries, it will stick. Put some in there, making sure that I have it in my corners. Put some here. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it down like this. I'm going to go in and just wipe up some of that glue. Just go around and around here. I think I can maneuver it just a little bit to slide it over. And y'all, I do like how this is turning out. It's actually a very inexpensive way to upscale something from the Dollar Tree. These are very nice, and you can see that the drawers do open. I am going to have to let that base dry, but as you can see, my Reptile adhesive has already grabbed hold of that plastic to paper, and it is holding it nicely. Now what I want to do, and I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to take some of my scraps and I want to look at putting sides on, and that is where my bead paper will come into play. So I'm going to bring in my ruler and I am just going to measure from edge to almost edge, and this is about 4 5/8 inch. So I am going to cut my paper at 4 5/8, and I forgot to measure this way, and this way is approximately 8 1/8. So I'm going to start with the piece that is 4 5/8 by 8 1/4, and then I'll cut it down because I'd rather cut too large than to cut too short. So I don't think that the scraps that I have are going to work with my sizing need. So I'm going to slide this over, bring in a couple of pieces of lightweight chipboard. Let's go ahead and cut it at 8 1/4 by 4 5/8. And let's see what type of a fit we have. So we're going to take this. Ooh, I'm glad I cut that at that size because that looks like the sizing is right lengthwise. So let's take some tape and let's add tape to our pieces. And these are going to be our side pieces. All right, so I have removed the tape from my pieces. I am going to take my pieces and we're going to put them down like this. And let's put this one down right here. So what I'm going to do is I am not going to worry about the top because we're going to glue that underneath. So I am going to cut this straight across. We'll take this piece, angle it just a little bit, and we're going to cut this straight across because we'll be gluing it as well. So let's just cut across because y'all, we're going to wrap around. Let's remove this. I do want my edges to be covered, so I will wrap around there, and then I will wrap this around to this side. So I'm going to take some tape Now let's put the tape right here because we do want that wrap around to go all the way to the edge. And now I'm going to take this, stand it up, and just fold it over. And now I'll trim away that excess. So there's one. All right, y'all, so we have both our pieces. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to use tape to put this on. So I am going to take my tape and we are going to tape this entire piece. So I am going to add tape here, tape here, and then we'll put some tape in the middle, and then I will add some glue to the bottom as well as to the top. And I'm adding that glue just as a little extra measure to make sure that everything stays stuck. So I have added tape to this. I'm going to take my glue and we're just going to run a thin bead of glue. Lost my words there for a minute. Along the bottom, so we're running a thin bead of glue along the bottom as well as along the top. So now I can take this piece and put it in. Like this. See how that looks? Y'all, it is gorgeous. I love how this is turning out. And so we are going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to take my tape, add some tape to this piece. This is going to look like a high-end piece when we're done, but you guys see what I'm using? You see that I'm not using anything expensive on this project, but we are taking the inexpensive and giving it a dressed up look. So I am going to take this piece and now we're going to add our glue to the top and to the bottom. So my finished size for these side pieces did end up being 8 1/4 by 4 5/8. I thought it was going to be smaller than that, but I guess I wasn't all that exact when I did my measurement for the piece. But we're good now. So there's that piece. Let's see if I can put this on its side so that you can see what I'm doing here. I'm actually going to have to stand it like this so that I can see what I'm doing here, because I'm going to take this piece and put it on, and then I'm just going to scooch it in like that. Gorgeous. Absolutely love it. So now we just need to let this dry, and we're going to have a beautiful piece. But you know what? I'm thinking that I should put a piece on the back just to finish everything off. So let's pick it up. I have grabbed a second piece of lightweight chipboard. I know that 8 1/4 should work because that's what worked here on the side. So now I need to measure this way. And it looks like if I start out with 7 by 8 1/4, that should be a good beginning. Actually, I'm going to play it safe and cut 7 1/8 by 8 1/4. And if I need to trim it, I will. Alrighty, so let's take this piece. Let's put it on the back like this. And I think I'm going to leave it at the 7 1/8 by 8 1/4. So that is actually what I cut this piece out to be. And I am very glad that I did cut it a little bit larger. So I'm going to take this, and I think we're going to use our B paper because I like having that lighter color showing through those drawers. Let's peel away our tape backers. We'll take this piece and we're going to put it on like this. A little bit crooked, but it'll be okay. And then I'm just going to fold over. Y'all, I'm not even going to remove the American Crafts sticker. I am just going to go in and miter. Add just a little glue and fold over. Tore that, but that's okay because it's going to be covered. I was pulling it really tight and I tore it, but that is no biggie. And see how I didn't have to remove that because it's hidden? Same thing here. And let's take this piece and let's fold it over. So now I'm going to take another piece. Y'all, I think I paid 20 cents for this paper at Joann Fabrics. And so I'm going to take this and we're going to cut a piece that is 7 1/2 by 6. And we're just going to take this piece and put it on the back so that we don't have any of that back showing. I am going to take just a little bit of my glue, put some glue on this piece. I'm not being heavy-handed with the glue because I don't want it to warp this lightweight chipboard. So I am going to take it and let's put this down. You can definitely use tape on this project. And let's get that nice and stuck. Now we're going to take this and we're just going to scooch it in right here. And I am going to take my glue and I'm going to run some glue right along the edge. Not a lot. Run some glue along this edge. Not a lot. And then glue across the top and the bottom. I didn't want to use hot glue on this part because the hot glue is thick. And so now you can see what a gorgeous piece we have all the way around, y'all. It is fabulous. I don't know about you, but I think that this looks so much better than the single drawers that they started out to be. We have a nice little piece that we can set out and we can put all types of goodies in here. You can put this in your craft room. You can put it in a bedroom. You can put it in a bathroom. You can put so many different things in here. This is a great upscale organization system. So what do you think? I think it looks absolutely fabulous. This does not look like anything that you would find at Dollar Tree. We took this, y'all, and we upscaled it with some chipboard, some decorative paper, glue, and tape. That is all that it took to take it from just one of these to a set of 4. Now we have these 8 independent drawers that can open and hold so many goodies. Imagine what you can do or how you can use little drawers like this. If you have ideas for how we can use those drawers or how we can now use a chest of drawers like this, leave me a comment below and let me know how you're planning on using these drawers. I absolutely love this. So when finished, we are going to have a piece that is approximately 8.5 inches tall, 7 inches wide, and 5 inches deep. So the footprint on this is not very large. And here's the beautiful thing. I did a vertical stack on mine. You can do a horizontal stack, or you can stack way more than I have stacked here. No matter what you do, y'all, have fun with your crafting. Never supposed to be stressful. Have fun. And I hope that you have enjoyed this amazing Dollar Tree hack. If you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, all day, every day, this is what we do and this is how we do it. And I would love to have you subscribe. So hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. As always, my beautiful crafty friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.